everyone, and welcome to episode 5 of the Delinquent Trio podcast, starring... We forgot to talk about whether I introduced y'all or not. Matt Goku, KGH.
Wow, I was about to do it. Okay. I'm Fat Goku, by the way. In case you didn't know which one was which, I'm Fat Goku.
I'm not introducing myself. I think Magi should just do it.
So we're here back from our 2-week hiatus. We took a break for Christmas, and we decided that we're back. We are kind of planning to have a shorter episode today as well. We don't have that much to talk about, as we've been saying about being in the off season for Melee. So today we're just gonna be doing a little review of like our 2019, and we're talking a little bit about how to distinguish your results from progress. And then we'll do Q&A, and we'll probably wrap it up there. So expect a shorter episode today.
But Magi, you forgot about the combo.
We are going to talk about the combo. I never mentioned the combo.
We're going to talk about a combo. And who's it by? Is it by Zane?
It is not by Zane this week. It is by Moki. But before that, I wanted to quickly say that I do have... I finally found a website to host our audio-only versions of the podcast. And you can type !podcast to find a link to the YouTube playlist, as well as the link to the audio-only versions. And we did submit it to Spotify, and so we're waiting to hear back from them, but for now it's going to be on Podomatic for now. Anyway, besides that, oh my god, my fucking OBS just fucking
crashed.
No, it didn't crash. I clicked it and it's like full screen, and I can't drag it anywhere anymore, and I can't on full screen. Oh my god, I actually have never figured out how to solve this problem. This is so stupid. Oh my god.
Surely you've solved it before.
I've literally not. I've closed OBS is the way I used to solve it.
No.
I actually can't believe that just happened. Right. I'm going to try to navigate without it, but oh my god, that's so dumb. Okay, well now you see the podcast, and I hope it's just going to work. I can't see if it's working, but...
yeah. It looks
okay. Anyway, so this is the combo for the week. This was actually by Moki, and the reason I picked this one was because I believed from the first time I saw it that this was the best combo ever done in Melee. Period, which might be a little bit exaggerating.
Which is some pretty high praise.
However, I think it's amazing.
But it's pretty. It's very good.
It's definitely up there.
I think we're yeah.
Yeah, I'll play it real quick. Put the audio a little low. It's just so insane.
It actually looks like fake.
Yeah, exactly. It was like the last week when we were talking about the fucking we were talking about the Zane like PM turbo combo. This was basically that, except to an extreme degree. Like specifically the part that just destroys me is like he does a runoff up air and is ready to land and L cancels it.
I think that's the most insane.
It's
part.
Just like it's stupid.
I would never have the like ability to think of that. In my mind.
That's pretty. I don't get it. I don't know if he knew that was gonna happen.
Yeah, exactly. Like
he didn't because he hesitated it after the up air connected. Like that combo could have gone way faster if he knew it was gonna connect.
So how does this up air actually work? Can someone tell me the technical details?
No.
Yeah, it's just like, do you know what? Have you ever had like a platform warp? Whenever you drop through the platform and then you do an aerial and then you land back on the platform.
Oh, sure. Like
it's basically like that. He was off the platform for a frame or two, and then he just like by the time the hitbox connected, he was above the Randall, so he just landed. I think it might be a hitbox thing too.
Okay, I kind of thought that's what it was, but I don't know.
I think it has something to do with Randall also moving forward.
Yeah, that's exactly it too, because it wouldn't have worked if he just ran off on a normal platform, but because Randall moved under him again, then it worked. Which is why, again, this is just, like, absurd. If he's encountered this situation before, then at least it makes sense to me that he would know what to do. But if this was, like, completely on the fly, I would, like, easily consider it the best combo, like, ever. Because, like, that's just, like, so fucking insane.
Yeah. He actually could have did it, too, now that I look at it. Right?
Could he?
Yes, he could have. Yeah. If you really wanted to.
Yeah, he didn't do two up airs.
Yeah, whatever. I guess it isn't the best combo ever.
It's all right. Whatever.
Also
it's Marth.
Yeah.
What the?
I kind of think too that I wouldn't be as impressed if he just did like an edge cancel down air or whatever. Like specifically it being run. I guess the only way that I would be like insanely impressed was like if he somehow drifted in a way that would, by doing the runoff up air and then landing back on Randall, he would ledge cancel off that and then he would like down air. But like that's like. That doesn't matter to me. Like this is so like just insane.
No, it's really insane. I've just never seen this up air. Like I didn't know that you could even do that. Like the fall through like cancel memes.
Yeah.
With up air. Like I've seen it with Falco Bear like a million times.
Right.
So I didn't even know this was a thing. If he messes up, he's dead. He actually gets the kill off of it.
What the?
It's
insane. It's insane.
It's actually the best.
It's absurd. It's an absurd combo.
This is my first 10. It's like a 10 easily, like without even thinking about it.
Yeah, it's probably the best Marth combo ever.
Yeah.
Do I think it's as good as Kalundi's Shine Bear? You know, I don't want to. I don't know if I compare this to some of the Titans that we've seen before. I mean, yeah, I think we have to get. I have to give it a 10.
It's just,
like tens are hard for me to give, so I'm like, tens are like it's nothing will be significantly better than this.
Right.
Maybe something will be better than it, but not by that much.
Yeah, I
the
can't imagine it.
Against it are like that it's not in tournament and it's on a player who
Yeah.
it's probably not that good.
Sure.
But it's like, but the actual content of the combo is just absolutely bonkers.
Right. If that ever happens in bracket, then it's like,
oh yeah,
that's just like,
Yeah. Then it would be the greatest combo.
at least the greatest tournament combo. Anyway, so that was that.
Yep.
Shadow Samoki, of course, with. Should we actually?
I like how
I
the
haven't
best-
looked up any Zane combos this week, so I actually don't know if there's a.
I don't think he's been
I don't-
posting them.
I don't
I've
get
been
it.
I've been looking a bit, but I don't know. I haven't seen him post a ton.
I hope we don't discourage him from posting combos. That'd be really sad.
He only
No,
he wants the combos to be on here.
Yeah. They're also like, I'll go into his chat and be like, "Hey Zane, do something cool. We'll review it on the podcast." He's like, "Oh, okay, Fat Goku." And I don't know.
What if,
Yeah,
he,
we have a little
what if
bit.
he intentionally throws so he doesn't get to post them anywhere? I didn't see. I'll play it one more time for people that just came in, real quick.
I also like how the highest rated Marth combo we've ever had was done by a Fox main. So
It's true. It really says a lot.
it really makes you think.
But yeah. Anyway. Oh, I didn't. Oh my god, I didn't put the screen on. I'm so dumb.
Oh,
Right.
yeah. Here's combo one.
Yeah,
last
the
time.
actual combo, not just the audio.
What the?
God, it's so good. But anyway, on to what we're gonna talk about, which is our quick year review. Does anyone want to go
2019.
first?
Steven?
Okay. Do you want me to go first, Magi?
Sure.
I,
I
think it's
don't
near
care.
you.
I really don't care.
I don't care either.
Well, I guess
I don't
it's-
care- I don't
there's
care
already
more.
a vote for you. It's
I
just
don't care
go.
more.
Okay.
I think you should go first.
Okay, sure. So my year was this was easily the most like insane year I've had in my entire life. Because it started off just by I got ranked for the first time, which was insane. I was the first player from Louisiana to be ranked, and that was a big goal of mine. Starting like in 2017, I want to say, because that was when I kind of realized like that's when I just took over #1 in Louisiana, and that's how I was like, okay, I kind of feel like it's more reasonable now for me to aim for it, because before then I didn't travel ever, so I didn't know how good I was relative to anybody else. So it was really hard for me to say confidently whether or not I'd be able to like whether I had the potential to be top 100, which obviously now I know that almost anyone does, but before then I was clueless, so I really didn't have any idea. But I was very happy to get top 100. I barely got on as 97, and it was a really proud moment for me. And then, of course, right after getting ranked, my first tournament is Genesis, and then I beat Mango. So that was, again, like another completely like absurd, like, I just couldn't believe that, you know. It was a crazy jump from December of that, or the last year, and then jumping to February and just beating Mango, because, you know, before then I was just worried about getting top 100, and then doing that was just like, It was just insane. And then it was cool because then I did my little fundraising stream, because I realized that like I had a lot more supporters after beating Mango and after getting ranked, so I decided that I was gonna try to make a jump to move out of my house. And that really went really well. I raised a lot of money to help me move out, and then I had a pretty decent summer, I guess. I had a CEO top 8, and I had a DreamHack. I placed second at DreamHack, and then I won my first regional. So that was like I had a decent season, and then I had a bunch of like kind of shitty regionals that I went to that I didn't do so great in. But it was good enough to get top 50, which is another really cool accomplishment, because it was like I was kind of expecting to have the full year to get top 50, and then the next year I would start like, okay, well now I'm gonna try to get higher than that. But then I got top 50 in the summer, which was like a little bit ahead of schedule, and that was only because I beat Mango, so that was kind of weird, but that was so cool. And then the rest of my summer was pretty like I placed poorly at a bunch of tournaments, but I was kind of just prepping to move out anyway. And then August I moved out, and then it was like I'm dealing with moving out. That's kind of weird, I fucking having to actually pay bills and stuff was a kind of a big change. And school started back up, and school ended up being really bad this semester, but and then my fall tournaments weren't that crazy, I guess. Like what did I do? I placed second at that Illinois tournament, and then I went to Big House, and I beat Ryan Ford, but didn't do anything else. And then I started Hormones, and that pretty much sums up my entire year. I don't think that. I mean, and then we had the reads, and of course, we started talking more often. Which
man, you're just like, and that was my whole year. I was like, oh, okay, yep, those were all that was every important life event in your whole year. Nothing else.
Of course. That was just talking about Melee and the other really important thing. I kind of figured that you guys are going to talk about it anyways.
Yeah, I was going to bring it up.
But yeah, I'll just leave that to you. So, I mean, whatever. That was most of my 2019, which has, again, like, it has been really crazy, and I've been very thankful for having this year, as stressful and, sometimes shitty. Oh, thank you, Save As Entitled, for the raid. Much appreciated. But,
hey.
Yeah, I'm very thankful for this year for sure, and I was very happy with it all. But yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to say.
All right, you want me to go second, Kalundi?
Sure.
Okay. Start off the year. Go to and like so. I'll preface this a little bit. In 2018, pretty bad year for me in Melee. I literally didn't think I was gonna be top 100 because I think I played so bad the whole year. So 2019, I'm like already not feeling great. Then I go to Genesis 6 and I beat 4 top 50 players. I get 9th. Was 1 game away from getting top 8. Best weekend of my life. Oh my god, I'm just the happiest person on earth. And then and then I stagnate so hard in Melee for the rest of the year. But like, I don't know. I think I overstayed a little bit. I had 0 upsets for the rest of the year. Literally, I was not seated below someone, and then I beat them a single time, which is really, really disheartening. But I think my losses, except for like maybe 1 or 2, were all really, really respectable. And I still had wins on people that I respect and think are good, like Bladewise, like NMW, Commaster, Umarth, Kadoran. So I still had stuff. Got top 50 in summer, which was like one of my biggest goals. And I think after that, I don't know. Whenever I reach a big goal, I'm immediately like, okay, cool. Like it's time to chill.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I think I did that quite a bit in once I got top 50. So yeah, if anyone's been listening to me recently, I'm not super happy with my year in terms of Melee, but I think I'm more positive about it than I have been leading on. Because I'm still happy with my play in a lot of ways, but just my results are nothing that I am proud of after Genesis.
Right. That was one thing I tried my best to be very, very strict about to myself, is like, I knew that beating Mango was I don't want to say it was a fluke, but it was very much not a representation of my skill, like relative to like everything else that I am capable of doing. So I made sure to like make it a point for myself and to remind other people. It's like, do not expect anything like that like consistently or anything. That's not.
Oh yeah. No, I got 9th at Genesis. I was like, yep, I'm probably like I'm probably like the best player in the world.
Yeah.
I was like, I can reproduce this. I'm sick, and I honestly, I still think I can. I think I know what I'm doing wrong in a lot of ways.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
I still feel optimistic about this year. So Melee, I would rate my year like a 7. I'm okay, or maybe 6. I'm all right with it. It was mostly Genesis carrying me though, and it probably carried me to top 50 at the end of the year.
Same.
Other than that, there's this podcast I started. It's called the Delinquent Trio. I think it's pretty cool. I mean, honestly, you two were the highlight of my year, which you two already knew. I've already told you this. Don't you all me?
It's true. It's very honorable.
But yeah. No, I love you two so much. I'm so glad that we do this and we talk and we play poker and Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah.
Make fun of Magi. All the good things in life.
Right.
I haven't made fun of her in like 3 days.
I was about to say
we haven't been to call in a while.
Yeah, I've noticed such an absence in the amount of times I've gotten mad at Kalindi in the past few days. I think
also,
what were you about to say?
Oh yeah. Also, yesterday when we called, just me and you, like, there were 0 mean things said. It was horrible.
Yeah.
I wasn't mean to you at all. So I need Kalindi.
Wow.
It's such an important balance, and I was trying to like establish like last night I was like like I was trying to understand like how whenever like me and Kalindi play heads up, how it's such a different context for what me and Steven did, because me and Steven were like very relaxed and we're just kind of like it was almost like we were playing a board game.
We're also doing it for $5, so it's like
right.
It's not, we're not trying to get rich.
But me and Kalindi usually do it for 100, and we usually are trying to go for each other's throats.
It's so fun to
watch. But yeah. Do you have much to say, Kalindi?
What did I do this year? I started taking drug fox lessons in January.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly don't. I went to like almost every tournament up, and I don't really remember my results that much. But I had to have beaten like some decent people to get ranked 21st, unless the people who do the ballots are just idiots. So,
yeah,
like
I remember.
I don't remember.
I did a ballot, so you're in good hands.
Okay. Yeah, I don't remember really what I did at the beginning of the year.
I remember when you were talking about like, because like I remember during the summer you were like very like, you were just very like surprised whenever I told you like, yeah, you got 21st this year, despite like feeling like I guess you just really remember.
Yeah, I don't know. It was a weird year for Melee, and then around the summer I picked up poker and kind of put Melee on the back burner.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been doing that. I don't know. I started my Patreon this year, so that was cool. Best tournament was probably Summit. I didn't compete in it, but it was a fun time to hang around everyone, not stress over tournaments.
Makes sense.
God, I don't know. The first half of the year is like such a movie, to be honest.
I kind of feel the same way.
It is interesting because this is the first time I traveled a lot, so this is the first time I ever had like a season where I was like, what did I even go to? Because usually
I traveled to literally everything.
Yeah. Full Bloom. This Full Bloom was the one where the shy guy took the charge shot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
I guess Full Bloom was probably the best tournament for me this year because I got like 4th.
Oh, who'd you beat?
I beat IBDW, Ginger, Michael, and Swedish, but it wasn't much because like I think I actually had a winning record over all 4 of those players to begin with. So yeah, and then I lost to
Johnny
game 5 and Boyd last game. So yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, Full Bloom was cool, but again, I usually beat those people anyway.
Right.
not Cody as much, but Cody also wasn't as good as he is now, obviously, in
Yeah, yeah.
March.
Yeah, I remember the one thing. The reason I brought up that term is because I remember I was at my friend's apartment, and that was the first time I saw you attempt the wall tech jump, like lead or waveland.
Yeah.
I was just shocked. I was so happy.
Did you hit it?
No, I missed it. I died.
Oh, oh.
Yeah. I don't think it mattered. I think I won the game, but
Yeah.
But still, would have been swag.
yeah. What's up, Mango?
Oh, hi, Megan.
But yeah, and like I said, or like Steven said, I should say, it was really cool meeting you guys, of course, and it has been, it's just been nice. It's been a while since I've had like a group that I talk to almost daily. So
You two destroyed my sleep schedule.
yeah.
What? No, you two destroyed my sleep schedule. My sleep schedule was. I'm telling the chat. I had such a good sleep schedule for like 2 weeks. I was waking up at like 6, 7 a.m.
2 weeks? I had a good sleep schedule for like years.
Okay, well, 2 weeks for me is really good for having a good sleep schedule. But you two are still going to bed at like 5 a.m. my time, and so I'd wake up every day at like 7 a.m. and I'd be like, oh, my friends Magi and Kalindi, I wonder what they're up to, and like, it'll be like I'll see like 300 messages between you, and then like good night, and I'm like, well, guess I'll see them at like 3 p.m.
I think I'm pretty sure I was the catalyst because I've just always I haven't had a 5 a.m. schedule.
Blame you.
But I usually have a 2 a.m. schedule, and if I'm like hanging out with people, then it turns into pretty degenerate. So
It's all
I can take that was definitely my fault.
It's definitely Mad Dog. Because like when I hang out with when I spend a night at like Ginger's place, then like if we get really degen for us, we'll stay up to like 4 or 5 a.m. and then we're just like fucking tired. That was our limit. But like you two, it's like the sun's coming up, and it's like, oh my god.
Well, so it's also different for me because like when you're up at 7, which is extremely degen, it's 4 for me, which is like
that's true.
it's degen, but it's within the
nothing.
realm of like being a human almost.
Nothing. I get fucked hard for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my bad.
Yeah,
I think
this 100% mattress.
That actually might be a sick resolution for this year. That actually might be a decent topic to talk about.
No, I mean the year already started. Let's just do it next year.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Actually, I don't even know what my goals are this year. I didn't think about that at all.
I almost made New Year's resolutions, and then I was like, I'll just do them. I don't need a new year to do it. Especially since the year already started.
It's like, whatever. It's the second day. Like,
I just mean like if my resolution was to lose like 20 pounds or something, it's like I don't need that to be a New Year's resolution. It's like I'll just do it because I'm motivated or whatever.
You can have a by the end of the year goal.
Yeah,
sure.
There's definitely better ways to word
goals.
it.
Yeah. I think New Year's resolutions are like a bit of a meme in my opinion, but you know if they work for you, then that's great.
I think my by the end of the year goal is to move up in stakes in poker.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Are you trying to play 2-5?
Yeah, I'm gonna try 2-5 at some point.
Huh?
Before the end of the year.
Yeah, I guess this year. I mean, for me, I guess I might try to like. Well, I guess I have to wait till I'm 21 to go to the casino. That might be like a decent by the end of the year to see if I can actually play.
By the end of the year, I want to be able to go to casinos. I think you'll kill it, Magi.
Yeah.
You'll be able to go to casinos so hard by the end of the year.
Hold on, I gotta think. Steven, you pick a stupid goal so I can think of one.
Wait, who had a stupid goal? Mine wasn't stupid.
No, I'm saying I wasn't saying like go pick a goal, you stupid type of thing. Not like you pick a.
I just think my goals are stupid.
I didn't think yours. Whatever.
Yeah, she thought mine was.
Sorry.
And she thinks mine will be. I want to be. I have 2, I guess. One, I want to build my stream up to at least something that is reasonable. Like I'm not gonna be like, oh, I want 300 by the end of the year, but you know, just something.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to stream more. The other one is I want to be top, at least 30 by the end of the year. And even that, I'm like, I still think that's too low to shoot for, but but like I should be shooting for like top 20, but I'll try to be nice to myself.
I haven't really. This is not an end of the year goal, so I won't say that one. I guess for Melee, I kind of just want to go back to where I was like before I knew where I was in the world in terms of skill. Like I kind of want to like abandon like expectations and just kind of like play for myself again, which I think I've done a decent job of already. But I've definitely been influenced a lot by trying to meet expectations, or like instead of focusing on situations, I focus more on like raw results and not really looking into like the actual steps to get good results, instead of just like wanting good results or whatever. So I think I want to focus on that, just because I guess as a more tangible goal, I do want to be like top 30, or in the very least I want to be back in the conversation, because that's one thing that I've definitely been very jealous of. It's like I feel like a lot of people like talked about me in the beginning of the year and then they stopped at least in terms of just like skill, or what they expect of like the next generation of players. So I kind of want to.
You want to be back in the conversation of what?
Of like
new players?
Yeah, like or like the up and coming players.
Up and coming, yeah.
Up and coming players are like gonna be
eventually you just get there and you'll never be up and coming anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
You'll just be like,
I just want to feel it. I don't even want to be part of the conversation. I at least want to be. If I'm not mentioned, I want it to be because I don't need to be mentioned.
I feel like if you ever move down, you're no longer up and coming, unless you like pop off really hard.
Yeah,
again.
I'm popping off.
You're popping off. Hell yeah.
you have to move down a lot.
Yeah, but yeah.
I think like expectations are something I really struggle with.
Mm-hmm.
Like the first time I was ever ranked top 100, I was like, oh, I'm a good player now. I have to do good player things, and I can't be losing to these people anymore. And it's like, and anyone who like actually does anything competitively knows that is just the most toxic, like worst way to produce results.
Right.
Is to like be like, oh yeah, no, I should be beating all these people.
Right.
At least for me, it's so bad.
Yeah, no, the ranking system is a pyramid scheme. It's like the worst thing about the community.
My other goal for Melee, actually, I don't want to be top 30. I just want to be higher than Magi. I don't care if she's 90 and I'm 85. I hit my goal.
I know what my goal is. To not enter a single tournament this year and still be ranked above Magi.
Whoa!
They've done that before.
Have they?
No, there's no way.
Oh,
no.
You have to set the minimum. You have to set the minimum requirement.
That's not how it used to be. In like 2016.
Yeah.
Ken didn't enter like a single tournament or something.
Really?
Someone didn't enter a single tournament. I don't know. It was Zoso. Zoso didn't enter a single tournament. He was still ranked like top 70 or something.
That's amazing.
That's really funny.
God.
Nah, your goal should be like just going to like Genesis and Big House and then still be ranked above Magi.
I'm not going to Genesis, but Big House maybe.
Full blown Big House.
One more, yeah. Go to Full Bloom or something.
Maybe.
But yeah. Why is my frame rate still whatever? So I guess we can move on to what I wanted to bring out for kind of the level up segment, but also just kind of like its own topic. It's also what we touched upon a little bit in this discussion, which is distinguishing results from progress. One of the toughest things in the world to do on almost all levels of play. But this stems more, or at least the conversation starter is kind of for lower level players who they'll play friendlies and they'll struggle really hard against somebody, and then they'll pick a secondary and they'll take one more stock and they'll see that as like, oh, this is proof that this character is better for me against this opponent, so I'm gonna pick that guy, and I'm gonna just this is the solution. And
those are the people that shouldn't play Melee.
Yeah.
Until they fix their mindset.
That's messed up.
And until they fix their mindset.
Right.
It's just like the scrubby mentality.
I mean, I still think you should be playing Melee because I still think it's the sickest game.
Right.
But I still think I think you're
competitively.
improving in a really horribly way.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's why I want to bring up.
the intentions of like being good. If
Mhm.
that's your outlook.
Right.
Can we just Can we just make it a meme where like every single episode we have to bring up why dual maning's bad no matter what?
Every single time.
It's like how video game like reviewers will be like, "Oh, this platformer's the Dark Souls of platformers."
Right.
And us, it's like
it's
like,
time to
wow,
work on
guy.
tech skill, and one of the main ways to fix your tech skill is to stop dual maning two characters.
like Magi, your defensive game is the dual maning of Falco defensive games. Just
So
You know what's also crazy is that like it's not even just like bad players that have this mentality too.
right, no, this this happens a
Just
lot.
what was it? Just like last week, Principal said he's never playing me with Puff on FD or Stadium again, and he went Marth and did better. He was like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna do this forever."
Yeah,
no.
Okay.
yeah, you're asking for it.
The end result will still be the same.
Right. So that's why I wanted to bring it up is, you know, if you're a newer player, and I'm going to talk more about how this applies to mid-level players and high-level players as well, but it is very important to actually dissect the reason why you're losing. And at low-level play, you kind of have to, at least when I was in a very similar position when I first started off, the mentality that I used to break that was like, well, if I played this character perfectly, would I still feel the same way about switching characters? The answer is no. So it largely... wait, did I say that right? Hold on.
I don't know.
I like blanked out for a second. If I play this character perfectly, would I still feel the same way? Yeah, the answer is probably no. It's probably a result of like my own like inability to do something with the character, right? And I look up to like, you know, if I lose against a Marth player, what I think if Mango played against this guy, would he like feel similar to I do? And the answer is still probably no.
No.
Which is,
and even Mango has so much room to improve still.
Right.
Like everyone does.
Right. So,
it's like if you like go 2-2 at your locals or something, it's like it's not your character's fault. I promise.
Yeah. There's so much with the game, and that's why when I talk about results, it's important to understand like even in tournament results, it's very similar. So like, let's say you go 0-2 with Marth, and then the next tournament you go 1-2 with Fox, and it's like that's not necessarily a result of you. Like it's the result of the character. There's like a million things that could happen where like maybe you played against a worse opponent, or maybe your opponent didn't know how to play against this character very well. There's like a million different reasons, but trying to trivialize it to something as simple as like, oh, I changed this one thing, and so it must be the result. It's usually never that easy, unless you. I'll dive deeper into like ways that you can actually pinpoint it, but generally you want to use results as like a ways to like investigate specific things that led up to the result, and not necessarily just come to the quickest conclusion, which I think a lot of people do. And on the flip side too, it's important to like be able to distinguish your failures from your like, or I guess I should say like being able to distinguish your losses as a means to say like, oh, like just because I lost doesn't mean that I didn't progress, right? It's like the vice versa, where you may lose harder to someone. Like let's say you lost 3-0 when you went 3-2 previously, but let's say this time that you studied a specific scenario and then you're able to apply it that set and make real progress, or notice that the moment that you studied was different from what actually happened in the set, and so like you find a new thing to study. That's like, again, like really, really great progress. And just because your results didn't necessarily show progress doesn't mean that you didn't make progress at all, because most of the time it's very much like a long-term thing with Melee.
Yeah, everything is so subtle, and I think a lot of where this like mindset kind of comes from is people not accepting how incremental improvement is.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's a really hard like pill to swallow when it's like, okay, this guy, like if you're a brand new player, or maybe you've been playing for a year, and you compare yourself to Leffen, it's like you just can't beat him right now. It's impossible. There's nothing you can currently do in this exact moment that will cause you to beat Leffen in the immediate future. You're gonna have to work so hard at so many different things and get better in so many small ways, like a million times, before you then have the opportunity. Right. And that also scales down. Like I don't need to use Leffen. Like maybe it's just the best player in your region. Like if you're brand new, you're not going to beat them in a month. It's just not going to happen. and that's hard to accept.
Right. I think one of the best examples I ever heard was when people talk about weightlifting. It's like when you start, you're not gonna like weight, or you're not gonna lift 500 pounds. You're gonna like lift 10, and then you'll progress until you make it to 500. It's very much the same in Melee, except it's even more complicated than that. Where it's not as simple as just like building up a muscle. It's like you have to learn so many tiny things, and it's really hard to get that.
In Melee, sometimes you'll try to work out, and then you'll actually make yourself weaker because you're doing it in a dumb way.
Right.
And there's no like, oh, I went from 100 pounds to 105 to 110. It's like, it's so much more arbitrary.
Right.
And it's really hard to trust yourself that you're actually improving sometimes.
What were you gonna say?
I was just gonna like answer this question in chat, even though it's not Q&A.
Yeah.
It still like has something to do with it, about like dual maining at the top level. Like, is there a difference? And I think there's like
absolutely
a slight difference, because at the highest level, like matchups can start to like play a role. Like you see like examples are like Armada switching to Fox for H-Box, Mewtwo King playing Fox into H-Box as well, Plup switching to Fox for the Ditto, and then now like talks about Leffen and IBDW switching for Marth. So like definitely at the higher level, like
I think dual main's good at the high level, or top level rather.
Yeah, top level.
Yeah, so I think there's two things. One, they already have a really, really high fundamental level at the game. They're not learning how to space right now. If they're picking up Sheik, they're learning like Sheik specific.
Right.
But if you're not top 10, you still need to be learning a lot of basic things still. Or at least you need to be improving at them more.
Yeah, the conversation is a lot more. The reason why it directed specifically at low level is because one of the reasons why picking up multiple characters or trying to single out one reason, like one grand reason why you lost, is usually going to take you away from like actually taking the small steps to get better. Because if your interpretation of like, again, we'll use the lifting weights thing, like, oh, the reason why I can't lift 500 pounds is because I eat waffles in the morning, and I should change that, and then I'll fix it. And it's like, no, like there's like so many other things that you should be focusing on instead.
Right.
I mean, I guess that would probably help a little bit, but maybe not even. So that's why at top level it's very different, because it's not like the top level play. There's a lot less things for players to like. You need to learn how to space, like Steven was saying. It's like it's more just like it just might be better for you, which is true.
The other thing is, like, I think imbalance is a lot. It gets way more skewed the higher up you go. And I still think Melee is such a hard game that it's still fine. Like, I still think Fox can beat Zane, for instance. But maybe Cody would beat Zane 30% of the time if Fox Marth was an even matchup or so. But if you're like a 2-2 player and you're losing to a Marth and you play Fox, you are not losing that because it's 40-60.
Right.
It could maybe be one of the factors, but it's so insignificant in the grand scheme of things.
Right.
Even if you go higher up, if I lose to Pew Pew, is it because Marth Fox is 60-40? No. I could. There are so many things I could be working on, and me not working on them and instead picking up Sheik is just a really, really, really dumb use of time.
Right. So yeah. So that, I guess that's why. And I do want to clarify one last thing about dual mating at top level. Dual mating at top level is not an inevitability. Like, just because they do it doesn't mean that, like, because I think some people would be like, well, at top level, if I'm gonna main 2 characters, then I might as well start now. No, that is not what we're saying.
No.
Please do not take that as a reason to start dual mating either, because I have totally heard people with similar mindsets.
It's so bad. Yeah, I mean, like, I think, and maybe Clinty can back me up on this a little bit, but I think like 5, 6, 7 years ago, Fox Puff, I think, was considered really, really, really bad.
For Puff.
Yeah, for Puff. Like, I remember, and like, I wasn't a top player in like 2014, but I remember like seeing H-Box just get destroyed by like every single Fox and being like, God, this matchup looks really stupid. I don't think H-Box should play this. And then like and he was the only Puff, and he was like, no, I'm just gonna keep playing Fox Puff. And then like, and now people are like, oh well, maybe it's like even, maybe Puff even wins, and I still
Right.
think they're wrong, but it's like it's clearly not unwinnable.
Right, and that shows Melee again. Like, Melee is a very complicated game, and it's so hard to create absolutes. Like, oh, this character wins and this character loses. Because, I mean, like you said, like Puff was like 70-30 Puff Fox, and now it's like 50-50, and it's just because the game progresses really hard, and there's still a lot to learn for
There's so
everyone.
much yeah.
So
No, I tweeted about it recently. It's like, you know, I don't want to say that Marth Sheik is like winning for Sheik. I feel like I still don't know enough to like make a
Right.
judgment call, even though the game's a million years old.
Reviewers. I mean, like that's like a weird like. Someone in chat asked, playing secondaries whenever like you're playing against someone who's just kind of bad and like you don't want to develop bad habits. I
I
mean,
do
that's
that
like
all the time.
still different. Yeah, I mean, that's like a different topic.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
I don't.
I think
you
it's
can
bad
play
for
it.
improvement still.
I do. Yeah. I think if you're like actually concentrating on something, playing even against bad people, like you should still just play
You
your
can still
main.
learn.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can still. I think it was Armada. Was it Armada that said this? I don't know. He said if you're not like, if you can't like consistently four stock or JV5 someone, then like you still have a lot to work on.
I think it was
You have them
PP.
I think, yeah, I actually think PP said that.
PP.
I
feel like I've
wanna
heard
say.
Armada say it. Whatever. Some high level things said by some high level
some
players.
good players.
So,
Yeah,
like, yeah.
I actually,
That's definitely not a quote from like some nobody. I know
Right.
that.
yeah.
Fat Goku 2019.
I usually have that mentality also because I had it for a long time because like I didn't play secondary for like 2 or 3 years almost. Like I did not touch anything because I was like, I had that mentality where I was just like, I'm going to like, there's something usually to learn if anything, or in the very least it's execution practice, I guess, you know.
I am the worst person.
Yeah,
for
you
this.
made like 16 characters.
I love rotating.
Mhm.
Like, I don't know, but like I understand that when I do it, I'm doing it for recreation.
Sure.
You know, I'm like, you know, I think, or sometimes like Aura actually will message me sometimes, number 2 in Oregon, and he'll be like, hey, can we play some like Sheik Peach? I still like need some help in that matchup.
Yeah.
I don't know if it helps him, but he thinks it does, and I have fun doing it.
Right.
So,
So yeah, there's definitely a lot of.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just saying, there's like a lot of weird dynamics in terms of like playing secondaries against bad people or like trying to help somebody, but this is still talking more about like the mentality someone must have to convince themselves that they're like there's this outside factor that's causing someone to lose out instead of
but
like
yeah,
their
yeah,
own thing.
I don't do it outside of recreation.
Right.
I'm like,
What were you saying? Clinton?
except I tried to pick up Sheik in 2017 because I was, or like 2018, because I was big dumb. So I was like, Fox Samus just can't do
It's
it. I'm tired of losing.
unwinnable.
I'm tired of losing to these stupid Samuses. They're only good against one character.
What were you saying, Kalindy?
I was just replying to Bonfire. Wait, no, it wasn't Bonfire. Who said it? Someone said it. It was about mid-level matchups are weird.
Mm-hmm.
And I always thought that like mid-level matchups are completely different matchups.
Mm-hmm.
Like whenever I
can
used
agree
to,
with that.
there's just been multiple times where I stream and people would just be like Fox Marth, for example, even though it's a like big meme, but like there'd be like a bunch of Fox or Marth players in my chat saying like, yeah, I think Fox just like wins this matchup like heavily and neutral and edge guarding, and I just like instead of replying like how like some people would, I just be like, yeah, like that's probably the case for your level. Like Marth players
I agree so
probably
hard.
don't know how to recover or
Right.
smash the eye.
Right.
I
one
think
neutral.
before top level, I think Fox Marth is totally fine.
Yeah, so I think matchups definitely do change depending on level.
And it
For
makes
instance, like,
sense.
that's why I think it's important not to get mad at people when they have like their opinion because
Right.
like they're in a different world.
Right.
And it,
Like, can you imagine playing against a Marth that doesn't know how to smash the eye? That's a completely different matchup.
Right.
Or a Marth that doesn't know how to snap to the ledge from Shine. It's a completely different matchup.
Right.
So,
yeah, that's what.
Yeah, I think like Fox Falco at mid level. I think Falco destroys Fox.
yeah, Falco destroys Fox at mid level.
But at top level, like, am I gonna like, you know, does that mean Mango beats Leffen because of the character? It's like, hell no.
No.
Right.
Fox super wins at top level.
Um.
Completely different universe.
Shoot, I was about to say something. I forgot.
No.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely makes sense because like matchups do boil down a lot of time to like what options, like whether something is real or not, or that's not what it boils down to, but that's one thing that matters a lot is like people say like, oh yeah, Fox like wins FD because he just up, like he gets more grabs and he gets up throw up air and it does 80% every time and then he just gets an edge guard. It's like that's definitely like not how it works. Like once both players know how to deal with it, and you know, just it becomes a whole different matchup entirely. Because if it's like it's almost like imagining if like characters leveled up. So like there was like a level 10 Marth that had like 5 frames like more landing lag. Like that would like change everything, and that's basically the same as someone missing an L cancel. So it like does
Marth
change
scales
everything.
better with levels than Falco does. Like Marth gets like +4 to survivability from level 8 to 9, and Falco only gets like 1.
Yeah, Falco levels up 1 time. But yeah.
I think level 10 Marth is broken.
Level 10.
But I think level 8 Marth is like it's not too bad. It's fine.
But I guess one last thing I want to talk about in terms of results versus progress is so this is something that I again touched up a little bit, is being able to distinguish like. So I always like to talk about my mango set in general, but for this specific topic as well, which is that I wouldn't be a better player, or I wouldn't be a worse player if I lost that set. I'm not a better player as a result of winning that set either. There's so many things that go into like like usually you have to be a better player than someone to beat them, because there's a lot of situations that happen and you know you just have to outplay them a lot. And it's very hard to do that, and that's why usually the better player wins, but sometimes it's not necessarily the case. And it's usually like winning sets is like kind of like you're proving your mastery over certain situations, and it's really important to like understand that you don't lose your knowledge in like us in a matchup or like in melee just because you lose a set, just the same as you don't gain it necessarily by winning it. That's just all part of a process, and results are decent at like kind of measuring where you are, and it definitely is very good for like pinpointing certain interactions that you're bad at, or like maybe showing your progress in like a specific mastery. But it's really, really important to not let that take over like how you judge. It's hard to, but it's really hard. It's important to not let it judge like your entire perception of yourself, because there's just a lot of things that happen in sets that can influence the outcome. But again, like melee is very much a long-term thing, and it's just the same as like even if you get 3-0'd like every single set for like the next 1 or 2 years, if you learn something for every single set, you're probably on pace to become like the best player in the world. Because if you just overcome every single obstacle that comes in your way, then that's how you become the best, basically, is you just master every scenario. But again, very, very difficult to actually do that.
It gets tricky because like results are the only thing that we can use for like rankings. And I think rankings are like also the closest thing we can do to like determine people's level of skill. But at the same time, like you said, if you're X skill, if you lose 1 more stock to Mango, are you now half that skill?
Right.
That doesn't make sense. Like 1 stock, you're twice as good of a player now.
Right.
That doesn't make sense. But at the same time, I don't know how to like separate it.
Mm-hmm.
And I had that issue a lot this year. Like I said earlier, I thought my play was like, I'm pretty happy with it. And I did have several sets where like I was like last stock with Amsa and Lucky. If I take those 2 stocks, do I go from being the 45th best player in the world, which is probably what I'll be ranked, to like the 30th best player in the world for those 2 stocks?
Probably.
That's well, the rankings would absolutely
right.
Yeah, that's
would absolutely reflect that. But my actual skill, am I actually that much better?
Right.
No.
Probably not. That's a. But I don't know if like, I don't know. I don't think there's any way to separate it for rankings.
Right.
You just have to like, you just have to do it in some healthy way that I am not smart enough to know yet.
Ranking is such a.
They're toxic.
They're toxic. They're actually unironically so hard. Because there's the only form of measurement, like you said, of skill that we have, and they're so like. The only way you'd be able to accurately rank is if you were to have like a panel of people who are masters of the game, so like beyond like probably
even that
levels,
like,
and just like It's
Some people are
impossible.
so dumb.
Right.
It's impossible.
Results are
You
are,
like
are the
like
only
you
way.
literally would need to be God, and God would have to make some objective measure of skill that wasn't based off results, and then it's just not a thing that will ever happen.
Right. So that's what sucks is yeah, results in the end results carry your rank, and the important part is to be able to distinguish between rank and skill, which is like awkward because the issue with that is you get some bad mentality that spawn from that. It's like, "Oh, well, I'm ranked lower than this person, but I'm better than them." Which is like, yeah,
That's
that
how,
might be
if
true.
if you're higher than me, that's how I'm gonna feel.
Yeah. Yeah, that might be true, but that also might that might get in the way, and you might create an ego of like your play based on that, which might negatively affect you. So it is a very strange topic, but in the very least, I want to talk about that mainly to help players who like get discouraged by like going O2 or whatever, or like they're making a lot of progress but they don't see it in their results, and so they don't feel like they're making progress when they're actually like making big strides. So it is definitely a lot more complicated the deeper you get into it, but that's just kind of like my general idea of like how to be able to kind of distinguish between results versus progress. It definitely is way easier if you just ignore ranks. It's very difficult to, but that's what you're supposed to do. It's just hard because we don't have any other way to rank it.
It's hard. Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah,
I just want to be better than Magi. Is that too much to ask for?
you're already there.
Not anymore. I'm bad now.
Yeah, you lost one stock to me and instantly became a worse player.
Yeah, oh man, my life, I would just be the happiest person if I took one more stock against you. You left, or you, Lucky, Amza, and one more game off Avery. Oh my god, I'd be the best player on earth.
The best player in the world.
You're the best player in the world, Magi.
But yeah. So I think we're not going to be doing any sets this episode. So I think we're actually pretty ready to get into the Q&A. We've already been live for an hour, which is what our goal was. So we can, if anybody has any questions, any clarifications about what we talked about, or any random other questions you have, by all means ask us. Yeah.
The most skilled player is Leffen easily. That's not a question, but I agree.
It's either Leffen or Mango for sure.
I'm down.
How do you define skill in a melee player?
Thank you, Billy, for the 13. My definition has always been how good you are at recognizing and executing in scenarios, and I guess a mastery over scenarios. But it's really hard to actually measure that.
God, I don't know. I can't answer that.
It's insane. It's insanely difficult to answer that question, but
yeah, I'm a pass.
You just gotta feel it,
You have access to adult coaches. Should that affect who I choose to play?
I think you should play whoever you have the most fun with, and depending on and if you want to be a top player eventually or a great player, then lean towards a good character.
Yes.
Usually, yeah, because if
you want to be good and compete, just pick whichever top tier you have fun with.
Right, because in the end, if one of the most powerful things that helped me was that I really enjoyed practicing with Falco, which carried so hard. I didn't begrudgingly get to my setup and force myself to practice. I just practiced because I enjoyed it. And if you play a character and you're at the point where you just enjoy improving and you enjoy playing the game, then you're going to be light years ahead of so many people.
I mean, I would also even not a top tier, I would try to lean towards them. But even if you want to pick Pikachu or Doc or Luigi or something, you can still go pretty far with them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's so many good players of those characters. I don't think you should be God, I hate Fox, but he's the best character. There's some balance between how much you enjoy a character and how good they are, and you're gonna have to find that balance.
Right? No, that's true.
But yeah.
So for actual play, yeah, it is very. I guess actual play is probably the more important one. The tournament play is probably what you should be aiming for, unless unless your solo practice is so insane that you can transfer. Yeah, I guess when you measure how fun a character is, it should be what you're trying to do in a set is fun, because those are the things that you should be practicing and are probably like more fun to practice. Compared to like, I mean, if you just like moving around, then like that's fine. And again, it just depends. Like if you're actually trying to get better, then like that's what you should be doing. But if you're just trying to have fun, then you can do whatever you want.
Are you answering you types thing?
I'm glad they told me not to answer. I was thinking about it, and then I don't want to answer.
Okay.
Seems like a lot of mid-tier mains can switch once they get to the top, like Plup or Shroom. Yeah, that's the other thing. Is like, you know, if you're like a top 20 player or whatever with like Pikachu, and you're like maybe it's limiting me at this point, then it's like, then maybe sure. But
Great.
I would worry. You know, getting top 20 is already pretty hard. Getting to the point where your character's limiting you, extremely difficult.
Where's Clovis? Can he be a fourth? Yes.
He hasn't responded.
What's the quickest way I can knock out O2 at every local? I mean, pick Ices and Wobble.
Practice. Don't listen to Steven. Practice.
No, if you,
I don't recommend that,
if
but
you
that's
that's the right answer.
I
Like, if
don't
that's what you're
recommend
really
that,
trying to do.
but that's the right answer. You can't disagree,
Yeah,
Magic.
that is objectively the right answer. Unfortunately.
Stevie has a guess, maybe.
That's also the slowest way to make friends. So.
Mhm. I don't know who our first guest is gonna be. Maybe we'll have it one
Clovis.
soon. Clovis.
Zane.
Close. Probably Zane.
Zane or
Maybe Avi or Bobby.
Bobby, yeah.
Probably one of those. I think those are the only three we've even like considered a little bit.
Yeah. No one knows who Clovis is. So he can't be.
Yeah, no one knows. But and we'll just you and him. We'll just play DBFZ. And me and Magi will just, I don't know.
We'll have our mics muted, honestly.
We'll just have our mics muted. We'll just be looking at the camera. That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
Crush. That'd be a sick guest.
I could not pay
He would,
him enough money.
he would never. Yeah, it would never happen. But
He might come on for a meme. Like he'd come on for like 2 minutes.
yeah.
Aw.
Should I try to build my social life at uni, or or just keep my legends as crispy?
You could do both.
You know, I was gonna say, you know, there's a balance.
Ledge dash.
What's the expected value of your social life? And what's the expected value of practicing ledge dashes?
Can I do both? No, just practice like ledge dash for like 20 minutes, and that's
Yeah.
practicing 20 minutes of ledge dash daily is actually absurd.
It's so much.
It's
It's so much.
absurd compared
Yeah.
to, especially compared to what most people do. So,
Yeah, if you practice ledge dashes for like an actual sizable chunk of your day, like you're goofing.
for 30 seconds a day, exactly.
I practice ledge dashes whenever I am playing friendlies and I happen to be on the ledge. Sometimes I'll do it by myself. This year I chose social life.
That is
Don't do it.
true. And I'll say, I always forget that there's people who are not going to see the chat. 10 minutes every day is better than 60 minutes once a week. Yes. it is
Super
true.
agree.
Um,
That's what I tried to tell my brother. He's like busy and he has a wife and like a baby. And he's like, "Oh, Steven, I'm so bad at melee." It's like, just practice tech skill 10 minutes a day. That's not that much time.
Mhm.
You know, you have 10 minutes of free time.
Right.
Maybe you don't want to use it practicing net play or practicing melee because you have a baby. But if it's actually something you care about, then
Any more questions?
any more yeah, we need questions.
Being
How do I make myself have fun at locals instead of being hypercritical of myself? Ooh.
hard topic.
Create small goals that you don't have to be critical about, like results.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is 100. Like that's exactly what I was talking about. Actually, that helped me. This is what keeps me sane.
That helped me recently.
This is what keeps me sane against Kalindi, is because he tells me certain things to focus, and I practice them, and despite the losses, I can say that I like SDI'd the jab for Fox's, wave shine or whatever. That's a big deal, and it helps me not feel like shit every time. So, something like that.
You're doing it like 80% of the time now.
Right.
Yeah, no, it's really good.
Top 5?
Yeah, no,
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that.
What?
Dog breed? Ooh.
Ooh, fuck.
Top 5 players?
What's the
Ooh.
white fluffy one? Samoyed? Is that how you pronounce it?
I've never heard of that in my entire life.
Oh, my top 5 what?
No, top 5 characters, but we're talking about our favorite dog
I
breeds.
thought they
now.
meant top 5.
Well, no, he just said, "What's your guys' top 5?" I don't know
thought
if
he-
it's players or characters or
thought he meant players.
maybe he meant dogs.
Oh, player. Oh, yeah.
I like
Samoyed?
Pitbulls.
Wait, I gotta look this up.
Pitbulls, I think, are the cutest dogs.
Aww. I didn't know that's what a Samoyed was called.
Is there a way to stop caring about who wins in friendlies?
Goals.
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 My
No, you just have to realize that like you're playing friendlies to practice for tournament and to improve. You're not playing friendlies to like your goal should not be to win the friendly. If that's your goal and that's what you care about, then you should make a new goal for.
There are times where, if you want to practice tournament pressure,
Oh yeah, I
then
guess
you can try really hard to win the friendly. Try put all
But
your
in general,
work, but like if you're just going to like every friendly session with the intent to win, you're not going to improve that fast.
do you have a sample of types of goals you set up for yourself during friendlies? Yes.
Yeah.
A very recent bad habit of mine has been doing like a full hop Joe from the edge, because it's really lazy. Sometimes it hits them, and I feel really good when I hit them. But it's a bad habit that gets punished by anyone who's a okay player. And so I'll go into a friendly and I'll be like, my only goal is to do zero ledge drills. I don't care if I get 3 stocked. If I do no ledge drills, then I succeed at this game. And I will just like, and I fail all the time. You know, you're not going to be perfect at it every single time. But I definitely do it way less now that I've made that goal several times. So, and you can do that for anything. If you want to ledge dash more, have your goal be every time I touch the edge, I'm going to ledge dash. I'm going to go for a different Firefox angle. You know, just think of something.
I hate this stupid dog breed question.
Oh my God.
My favorite dog breed is like a mixed terrier because that was my first dog, and then I googled it and I found a lot of dogs that look like my dog, and she died like 2 years ago, and now I'm
Aw.
really sad. I can't. I felt like a complete likeness to her. It's okay, Tori. I just like, oh fuck me. I haven't looked up at pictures of them in so long.
How do I main a Spacey without feeling like I have to work harder than everyone else? That was a long time ago, by the way. But
Just play buff.
Yeah, so-
yeah, that's how you fix it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just recognize that Spaceys have a lot of really broken privileged things. And then I don't know, what I've been doing recently is I've been trying to like compliment every other character. And like they're genuine and I believe them. Just to be like, I don't know. I would just try to think about it harder. Think about why you think you're working harder than everyone else and why you're mad about it.
Mhm.
Top 5 players. Hbox, Leffen, Mango, Axe, Wizzy. Bam.
What he said, I guess. I didn't. Whatever.
Same.
Some people put Mango 2, some people put Zane 5, but that's my top 5.
Most ethical consumption under capitalism. That. Wait, what? Why didn't
Wizzy top 5 because he has better head-to-heads than Wizzy, or than Zane across the board, except for Amza. So even though he's way less active, like he has literally better head-to-heads against every other person.
You usually try to do when your game plan isn't working.
Ooh, I don't have a game plan, so.
Usually when it happens, I'm just like, all right, I'm getting fucked, so let me just keep getting fucked and think about it later. It's too hard to think about
That's actually kind of my thing.
My thing, when
During
I
it.
play Falco, usually just like, all right, I'm going to shoot them with a laser, and I'm going to pay really close attention to what they like doing, and I'm just going to hard read that next interaction. And then if they just keep outplaying me, it's like, well, can't do much about that.
If there's
How
a
about-
situation where like, the person that's botting you, like you can't get it recorded, and you're probably not gonna play this person for a long time again, then, God, what would I do? I think you just have to start like trying some really ambitious things, like
Mhm.
You just
just
get
go
creative.
get out of your comfort zone and like hard read certain things or whatnot. Just experiment and try different things if you get embodied like that hard.
Right.
But if it's like on something that's recorded, if it's on Slippy or whatever, then like, play your game and then analyze it later. I think that's the main part is people don't want to analyze it later.
Right.
It's like, yeah, I got fucked up. I don't know what happened.
That's me.
How do y'all feel about top 5 players of all time?
Don't know.
I don't know either.
Don't know.
I never care about rankings.
Okay. Armada, Mango, HBox, Ken. I don't know. Mute King, 5th?
Same.
I don't know.
Why hard reading instead of reacting? Because some things are unreactable.
True. Mango over HBox? Hell yeah. Ken,
Santiago,
what?
fuck yeah.
Ken was the best for like a million years, dude.
It's hard to.
I think
Is Melee
Mango has
Jazz?
been the
Yes.
best player in the world for more time than HBox has. Oh wait, my real number 5's Fat Goku.
Same. Whoever hard reads a lot is bad. Yep. It's just, I mean, it's like
You
we would
should
have to have an
react
entire
whenever you
episode dedicated
Yeah,
to
it
the difference
depends
between
on
hard
what you
reads and
classify as,
reactions.
a hard
Like
read.
it's I promise you that our short answer or our short answers are not a representation of what you should interpret as being like the viable thing of reaction versus hard reading, because it's so much more complicated than that. So just take our answers with a grain of salt and don't worry about it too hard.
Who's your favorite player to watch?
Mango.
I guess Mango's Fox. Yeah.
Oh,
What?
well, I also want to say Mango's Fox.
Then just say it.
Oh.
It's true.
but also Silent Wolf.
That's good. Or maybe like
Mango's
another...
Falco though is like 8th on my list.
Really?
It's I mean that's still really high. Maybe not 8th. Maybe like 5th.
That makes more sense.
But like Mango's Fox really does it for me. And Mango's Falco, I'm like that's a really cool playstyle, and I really appreciate that. But Mango's Fox, I'm just oh my god.
We'll probably do like another 5 minutes of Q&A, and then we'll cut it. So get your last ones out of here if you can. Hugs you despite being 100 years old. Hard work and dedication.
Mm-hmm. Can't believe Hugo won a super major this year.
Yeah, I can't believe I placed second at a super major this year. How can I get good? Practice.
Billy, you should wave dash and neutral more. When did I last drink water? I definitely drank water during this podcast. Can I be
Before
top
this
50 like
podcast.
Fat Goku? That's a good meme.
I'm drinking water now.
My water's empty, or I would take a glug.
Can we top 50? Yes. Why?
I love pink. Pink's great.
It's okay.
I bought sleeves recently at a Magic tournament. Bought pink sleeves.
How do you start playing Melee? Good question.
Oh,
Do you have an
that
answer
is a
coming
good
in?
question.
Yeah, you do. You either have a computer that has net play, you'll Google like faster Melee, or you have a CRT randomly, like so it's in your mom's basement, and you have a copy of Melee from your childhood. Get on that, or get a CRTs are really cheap if you actually find them anywhere.
I would try to find a local like Melee group in your region on like probably Facebook.
Mhm.
Try to find people to play with. Try to buy a controller. Look up some tutorials on like the advanced techs. It's hard.
Yeah.
Did you watch PPMD and Mute King stream today? A little bit. I was really excited, but then I realized they were playing like meme matches.
Yeah, I saw them play
Oh,
Cornelia.
they played today?
They were playing
Yeah, but
like
they were
items
playing,
on
like,
and stuff.
They're playing like items, like meme stages, like
Uh,
secondaries, and I was so excited. I was like, "Yo, this could be like." When I heard they were gonna play, I was like, "That could be like a podcast segment." Honestly,
Mhm.
just like watching some of their games. But
Definitely me.
they just played like Pichu and stuff, so it's like I don't want to talk about that.
I think PP's coming back just eventually. He's working on
How
it.
have you guys gotten better at dealing with nerves in tournament? I think I've answered this before, but
Yeah, this has definitely been a previous topic,
Yeah.
but the trying to simplify it is being able to like kind of dehumanize what being nervous is. It's just usually just like your fight or flight systems like activating, and kind of just learning to deal with that, or learning to play with your nerves instead of trying to fight against them. If Melee ceased to exist tomorrow, would you play Ultimate?
No.
And my thing is, once you're nervous, like being in the situation where you're nervous a lot makes you more used to it and makes you better at dealing with it, I think.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
So just like, just lose some game fives, dude. You'll eventually.
Yeah, you do.
Also, I would not play Ultimate. I don't know what I would do if Melee just ceased to exist. It'd be really sad. I definitely wouldn't play Ultimate.
Just trying to get
Maybe
without being blamed.
Maybe if Ultimate came out just like within the last month, maybe I would switch over. But
I actually might, because I think I could get good at it for my scene, and the locals are bigger. And if I'm not dedicating any time to Melee, then maybe I would try. Assuming that like my Melee, like, is this like what? I don't know. I don't understand how Melee. Okay, so if Melee just ceases to exist, but I still have all my current knowledge. I would do it.
Sure. Actually, maybe I would do it too, because I've seen Fox's like Nair up smash in Ultimate, and I can Nair up smash and kill people. And I'd make way more money if I was a good Ultimate player.
Is ult killing
It's
Melee?
ult killing Melee? No. Nice.
Yeah, the gift subs have been crazy, Alex. All right, we'll do 2 more questions. What do you make it sound?
Yeah. All right, that was one of them. I'm just kidding.
No. Favorite number and why? Steven?
I mean, it's 69. It has to be. Like, less so because of the meme, but more it was my Meowm rank twice in a row.
Yeah.
And I have an emote. I have 69 emote. Has a little halo over it. So, it's unfortunate, but it's got to be. Why is Matt KJH so mean to Magi?
I haven't said anything to her tonight.
It's true. Kalindy has been mad to me in like 4 days. We also haven't talked that much in 4 days, so.
Yeah, we hate each other now. I remember when we were friends.
Yeah.
Same.
Do you want to talk tonight? After the podcast?
Maybe.
No obligation, just do it for the sake of talking.
Hey, aren't you streaming Dark Souls?
I might.
Never mind, Magi hates us.
Yeah.
Or whatever. That's like DBZ.
Why doesn't Magi value you guys' friendship at all? Oh, that's a really great question. Do you have an answer?
Nope, don't know.
Nope, yeah, okay.
All right, one more real question. Are you excited about the upcoming? All right, thanks for tuning in to episode
No, I want
5
one more real one.
of the podcast. I really appreciate y'all tuning in. We'll be back, of course, next week for another episode. I'm probably still gonna be live, so I'm just gonna quickly transition to my offline screen, and then I'll come back and figure out more plans.
Steven streamed Dark Souls. No, Magi's about to stream Dark Souls.
But yeah, for the people who are listening, thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see y'all next week.
When did you realize you were